Hello, welcome to another episode of Aquatic Australia. On today's dive, we're diving a reef off the coast of Scarborough, Western Australia, called Brown Trout, and we're diving with Hillary's Yacht Club divers. One of the most popular activities for divers is to hunt the Western Australian rock lobster. It's one of our principal exports. It's a well-managed industry, and we have strict catch limits and licensing for divers and industry together. The reef is full of caves and caverns, lined with colourful sponges and soft corals. Lying motionless inside a cave, we find a scorpion fish. Its poisonous spines on its back and its camouflage make it a relative to the more ostentatious lionfish. In another hole, we find an octopus waiting to pounce. And here I try to use my fingers to get it to try to shoot out a tentacle and grab me, but we couldn't entice it out of its hole. Very cautious. Everything likes to eat an octopus. The hunter soon becomes the hunted. In one hole, the colourful foxfish, and in another, the equally colourful and mesmerising cuttlefish. In every part of the reef, there are creatures finding their niche, and where they don't yet have a niche, they fight for one. Here we see a sponge and a hard coral fighting using chemical warfare to attack each other to find and take over their space on the reef. These reefs indeed have a lot of hard coral, and more of it as you go further north again, thanks to the Lewin Current, which brings warm water down the coast from Coral Bay and Exmouth. You can see brain corals and plate corals, and then interspersed with that, at the same place you can see kelp and seaweeds and sponges. For today's dive, I'm diving with an old friend of mine, Chris Merritt, from the British Aquatic Club of Western Australia. The sides of the reef go down to about 15 metres, and ascending to the top of the reef at about 10 or 11 metres, we find ourselves back in the swell that has been increasing while we've been down as the southwest sea breeze comes in. On the top of the reef we also see large schools of fish congregating. It's a beautiful sight, and soon we're underneath the boat again. I'm joined by one of my favourite regular dive companions, a large southern Maori wrasse. This one with its lined face is a large male, and around it are the smaller females. And these fish actually change sex as they get bigger. Finally, the dive is up. Chris and I head to the surface and do our safety stops. Hanging under the boat, I watch Chris try to mount the ladder in the growing swell of the southwest sea breeze, just wishing my air supply would last forever and I didn't have to get up. But eventually time's come, we board the boat and head for home. Another great day's diving done. Thanks, that's all for today. Come join us again on Underwater Australia. Look for you at the next episode.